like it does seem like we're headed into a recession here in 2023. It's wise to kind of like hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
As we move further into 2023, many experts are warning that a new recession could be around the corner. The last time we faced an economic downturn of this magnitude, it was dubbed the Great Recession, and it left a profound impact on the world. And in this video, my friends, we'll explore what we can learn from that experience and run through 8 things we can all do to prepare ourselves for the challenges that lie ahead. But the first thing we need to do is just rewind a little.
It was one of the most profound events in generations.
An uncertainty for millions of people around the world.
Crash that most experts did not foresee.
It was a period marked by economic collapse with job losses and foreclosures on a major scale.
Its effects and of the recession that followed on income, wealth, inequality, and our politics are still with us.
Families were torn apart as breadwinners lost their jobs.
And so suddenly when banks look vulnerable, then they don't lend to each other anymore, investors pull back.
And the stress and anxiety of trying to make ends meet took a toll on even the strongest of relationships.
50 million people had mortgages roughly at that time out of 75 million homeowners. When that bubble burst, it hit probably 40% of the households.
But it wasn't just financial hardships that made the Great Recession so devastating. It was the way that it shattered people's dreams and hopes for the future.
Fear spread in the month of September 2008 at a rate that was like a tsunami.
The promise of a secure retirement, a comfortable home, and a stable job all seemed to disappear overnight, leaving people feeling helpless and lost.
What started in America last year has now spread to every part of the world.
However, even in the midst of all this turmoil, there were stories of resilience and hope.
There's no way of knowing when you're in a situation like we were in the fall of 2008 or 9, when or precisely how it will end. You know the United States will come back.
People came together to support one another, to find new ways of making a living, and to rebuild their lives from the ground up. It was a time of great challenge, but also one that demonstrated great strength and determination. And now, as we head further into 2023, into what seems another major recession, it's important to remember the lessons of the past. By working together, making smarter choices, and staying strong in the face of adversity, I'm confident, my friends, we can all prosper during a time many may already be losing hope in. So with that, let's look at some things that can help us all during a period that, like the one before us, created more millionaires than any other time in history. And with that all said and done, now it's time to jump into 8 key things that each and every one of us can start today that will help us not only survive this recession, but come out on the other side thriving and hopefully joining those statistics of becoming millionaires. The first is to create a budget and stick to it. Now, there's conflicting reports about how much the average UK household is able to save per year, but a recent report I saw showed the average amount saved by UK households is £5,403. Which, if I'm being completely honest with you, is higher than I thought, especially given the way the last few years have been. However, further statistics have surprised me too, showing that 34% of adults had either no savings or savings less than £1,000 in their saving accounts. Now, unless they're hidden under some sort of mattress, those figures were definitely worrying. Now, one thing I never want to do is come across as being condescending towards anyone watching my videos. I watched my mother work 3 jobs the majority of my life, and I also watched my family struggle financially in consumer debt, multiple credit cards, and never really owning our own home. So my first-hand experience growing up was that we never quite got a grasp on our finances. And essentially, we found ourselves living month to month, going further and further into debt. And this is why when I think back and I look in hindsight at the month-by-month cycles that we were in, I realized that I needed to start making better choices. And I realized that it was always around budgeting and looking through my finances with a fine comb. Now, without boring you too much, as I have gone through this on another video, my friends, is you clearly need to know your incomings and your outgoings and separating your wants from your needs. And unfortunately, that's just the easy part, because now you have some decisions that you need to stick to. How much can you afford to spend on wants a month? How much can you allocate towards savings and investments a month? And if it's necessary, for some of you, how much bad debt can you pay off each month? Those are questions and decisions you need to make after this video, my friends. The second is to increase your emergency fund to cover at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses. Now, I never want to come across as a negative person, but now more than ever, having a buffer to prepare for mortgage increases, rent rises, and just the general cost of living is so important, my friends. And although figures show around 3.7% unemployment in the UK, the number of job vacancies has been considerably falling for the past 8 months. The third is to look for ways to increase your income, such as taking a job on the side or freelancing, or doing exactly what I mentioned mentioned in this video over here. These videos, my friends, aren't just some random Google searches I've mustered up and spoken about. They can help you all massively improve your finances over the next few years. Number 4, review and negotiate your bills. So I had a letter the other day from Virgin Media, my broadband company. And despite promising no price rises in November where they tied me down for 13 months, well, they decided to increase my bill by £7 and gave me a whole spiel on inflation. Now, this wasn't the best use of my time, granted, but I argued back and I had grounds to do so. And essentially, I got my current bill lowered by £7. So in effect, a £14 difference, you could argue, from the potential increase they were imposing on me. And this has been locked in for 12 months and it certainly helps. So it's definitely worth you all trying this with a few of your current bills and really see what you can either get rid of or reduce accordingly. Number 5, invest in your skills and marketability. Let's just use AI as an example. Something that has literally the mass majority actually frightened, hearing that their jobs are going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. Something that doesn't need rest, doesn't have hangovers or bad days, and can work quicker and more efficiently than humans on the whole. And although it's early days, I'm actually very excited by this. We may need Will Smith in the future to help us out with this, but my brain now thinks, how can I learn from this technology that is likely going to make huge waves in our day-to-day life in order to stay relevant? This to fast track my own work process. Can I integrate those into my work process? Can I help with YouTube scripts or blogs or even putting sites together? It's all about thinking of the possibilities on how you can utilize this in order to stay relevant and ensure that you're still valuable to the marketplace. Number 6, stay healthy and avoid unnecessary medical expenses. Now, I bet this one actually threw you off, right? But as someone who has seen cancer, diabetes, and literally every other illness run through my family, I spend a whole lot of time working on my health. It's also why me and the wife created Healthxcel too. This isn't a plug for that, but if you are healthier, you'll be able to do more. And you won't be hit with crazy medical expenses due to poor health. And yes, we have the NHS, which I'm very grateful for. However, it seems to be more and more on its knees each year. And if expenses of being unable to work or having to go private are something that you're hit with, then that could massively derail your future. Guys, there's discounts in the description if you need. Number 7, invest. Now, buying assets when they are cheaper, be that stocks or property, or some may even argue crypto, during times of uncertainty, where there's huge fear in the world, could be the best decision you ever make. Those who bought low and essentially sold high have obviously profited the most in history, taking advantage of going against what the majority of people are doing. I, for one, however, know how difficult that is, especially from a psychological perspective, to buy things when they're on discount, or as you and I would see, as down from their all-time highs massively. But if we look historically, and let's use property as an example, in most cases, the trend is only going one way, up. Number 8, take advantage of government schemes. Now, whether it's getting nursery benefits, support towards your deposit of one of your homes, or one of the other hundreds of government schemes out there supporting those struggling, it's certainly worth taking advantage of if you are one of those people really struggling in these times. And I'll try and make some shorts on these and keep you in the know just in case there's something that can definitely help you. Thanks for watching.